Anahata, your heart chakra. Your heart chakra has been described as one of the most complex chakras that exist. It's because it's really the connection between your upper realm and your lower realm. Isn't that interesting is how it really applies to life? The heart can connect you to your upper realm by your compassion, your love, your gratitude, and at the same time, it can control what's going on in the lower regions of our mind and our bodies and our reactions, right? So the heart is very important. It's really symbolized by air. And what that means is it's supposed to be light. It's supposed to be loving. So when we deal with our heart chakra, it is not to be taken lightly because it is so important to our overall well-being. Your heart chakra benefits you in many ways. It regulates your circulation, your heart rate, all those things that are important to you. But at the same time, it gives you that ability to detach, to let go of negativity, to let go of judgment, and to just move in total love. Another benefit of your heart chakra is that it gives you the ability to tap into forgiveness. Such an important term in our lives, not as just yogis, but as people. We have been hurt, we have been disappointed, but if we cannot tap into the ability to forgive, then we will limit our ability to love and to live a full life. So the heart chakra is so important, and you have to understand how to activate it, how to manage it, how to get it engaged so that forgiveness is a regular part of our lives. Also, it gives you the ability to have emotional intelligence. There's a lot to be said about emotional intelligence and how we move through life in a way that we don't damage others or ourselves, in a way that we don't ruin opportunities, but at the same time create our best life. So emotional intelligence, which is something that's talked about all over this world, is really connected to your heart chakra. Here's a sign that you have an overactive heart chakra. You give too much to others. Always giving, not even realizing that there should be a limit to how much energy and love you give, especially if it's not being given in return. So when you have an overactive chakra, you tend to give, and that sometimes may not be in your best interest. Another example of an overactive chakra is when you find yourself in codependent relationships, situations where you just can't manage on your own. That means your ability to love and connect is just going overboard. So you don't want to be in a codependent relationship. You want to be able to function on your own, still with light and love. And then another way you can tell, do you take on the problems of others? I mean, really. Some of us do it because we're parents. Some of us do it because we're in relationships that call for it, but you have to be careful. You can't always take on the problems of others because that will damage your existence and your joy. An underactive heart chakra, you can tell by seeing if someone's bitter, if they're critical of other people, if they're just simply negative all the time, low energy, isolated, negative, all those things that we really don't like in other people, but sometimes we exhibit in our own lives. It's a sign that maybe your chakra, your heart chakra, is moving a little slow or underdeveloped. And that's when we need to tap into the yoga poses, the meditation, and the breath work, and everything else that can help you activate your heart chakra. Vishuddha, your throat chakra. Your throat chakra deals with your voice. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you've lost your voice, physically or just mentally or spiritually? Now, physically, it really does regulate your throat, you know, and all those organs that help you breathe. That's important. But also your throat chakra deals with communication. How are you with your communication? Do you find yourself in a situation where you're never speaking up? That may be an example of a low activated throat chakra. Or are you the loudest person in the room, always boisterous, always have to be heard? Maybe that's an overactive throat chakra. So what you really want to look for in your life are the times and the situations where you could not speak, or you're holding your thoughts back. Because it's not really your thoughts that you're holding back, it's really your words about your thoughts. If you are in relationships where you feel that you cannot speak and that you're being smothered, that could be damaging to your throat chakra. Or more importantly, maybe your throat chakra is not activated, so you don't feel that you have the ability to speak up. Maybe you need to speak up to your spouse. Maybe you need to speak up to your boss. Maybe it's the kids that are getting on your nerves, and it's not so much that they're getting on your nerves, but it's something that you need to say to them so that they can fall in line with the greater good. Either way, your throat chakra regulates your ability to communicate. Now remember, when we're talking about chakras, we're not just talking about the yoga practice, because all of these principles apply on and off the mat. And there's no better example than when we're talking about our throat chakra, because you want to be able to, matter of fact, you have to be able to communicate in this world. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're not communicating, where things are piling up and you just won't say anything, that's a sign that you need to develop the tools to speak. Maybe it's gaining more confidence. Maybe it's putting yourself in the right environment so that you feel the freedom to speak. Maybe it's surrounding yourself with people who support you and your ideas so that when you speak, you're not shy about it. Either way, there are specific tools and techniques to help you with your throat chakra. But remember, throat chakra is important because it is your source of communication. And without communication, you're simply not saying anything. Now we're moving to your third eye chakra, right here. Your third eye, your intuition, so important as we move through this world. Many people think that your third eye chakra is closely related to your intuition and your understanding. So if you want to get better at understanding things, if you want to get better at learning new skills, you have to figure out how to tap into your third eye, your intellect, your wisdom, the chakra that controls your mind. When you develop your third eye chakra, you're going to be more engaged, more enlightened, more intelligent, more able to understand complex ideas. So here's the key. Have you ever spoken with someone, or it was in a conversation or in a room full of people, and you're thinking, what are they talking about? Or that they're talking about things that just don't matter or just don't move you. That can be an example of the person not having a very developed third eye chakra. And that happens. There could be many reasons why that third eye is not developed. It could be childhood trauma. It could be physical ailments. A lot of things affect our third eye chakra, but I will say this, the more that you build it up, it will help you fight diseases. It will help you fight seizures. It will help you fight epilepsy. It will help you fight strokes. That's what the science says. Now, of course, all science is not absolute, but why not take a bet and gamble on a positive side? Why not try to build up your mind and your resilience so that if, in fact, you have one of those situations, you may be better equipped to deal with it? And that leads me to a very big point. All of these theories that we talk about in yoga, in wellness, in fitness, Yeah, you can dispute them all. You can say, well, I don't believe that if I develop my third eye chakra, I'm going to be better dealing with a stroke or some other disability. You could say that, and you may be right. But on the other side is if you're doing positive things to help build your life, to help increase your vitality, to help increase your groundedness, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? Same thing applies to yoga. If it can help you with your flexibility or your meditation, why wouldn't you do it? Physical fitness, if it can help strengthen your body, create a longer life, why wouldn't you do it? So instead of just taking the negative side, saying, you know what, I don't believe that's going to happen, let's take that positive side. Let's bet on the positive side, because what do you have to lose by being positive? So what do you have to lose by choosing to develop your third eye, your intuition? What you will gain is your ability to have greater insight on situations, greater insight on the people that you involve yourself with, the businesses that you get attached to. I love that topic. Every day, if you're in the right place at the right time, somebody will come up to you with a business opportunity. They want you to sell this, or they want you to buy that. Sometimes we need your intuition to say, you know what, I've been there before. I've seen that before, and maybe it is, or maybe it's not for me. But if you don't have the intellect and the wisdom, you can't make those good decisions. So as we try to develop our third eye, it's going to give you more discipline. It's going to give you more abilities that will help you analyze situations and analyze relationships. Very, very important. So here's the keys to determining whether or not you have an overactive third eye chakra. Maybe you jump to conclusions because that third eye is so active that you believe you know it all, so you jump to conclusions without getting all the facts. Maybe you have poor vision or headaches. Whenever your mind is working overtime, it's going to show up. Maybe you can't sleep at night. A lot of us suffer from the inability to sleep. A lot of us buy the medications and watch the commercials on how certain things can help you sleep. I'll tell you this, if you are able to calm down your third eye chakra, calm down the noise that's going on in your head, it may help with meditation and it may help with your sleeping. How do you determine whether or not you have an underactive third eye chakra? If you have an underactive third eye chakra, you may not be able to see the outcome of certain situations. You get it? You won't have the wisdom and ability to say, I better not do that because this could be the end result. That's one of them. The other one is you may have low motivation or no vision, physical vision or vision for your future. So we can go on and on about the wisdom center of your head and in your mind, but basically you want to know that the third eye chakra is so important because it is what's going to carry you through this world and help you navigate everything that's going on. You need that wisdom. Yes, you need your heart. Yes, you need that fire. Yes, you need the desire and you need to be grounded, but you also have to have a mind that is functioning. So if there's something that we can do to help build you up, to get you more skills, to get you more knowledge, let's work together to do it because your life depends on it. Sahasrara, your crown chakra. Your crown chakra rests right above your head. Your crown chakra is your connection to the divine. It's your connection to what's beyond this life. It's so interesting when you meet people who don't have a belief in anything greater than themselves. The question is, well, how do you think all of this was created? And do you really think it's all about you? We all know the answer is it's not. It's not all about you. There's something greater going on. There's a greater good going on in this world. And your crown chakra gives you the ability to connect with the divine that exists outside of you and that divine that exists inside of you. Understanding and activating your crown chakra will give you a deeper spiritual connection in life. It will give you kind of an unlimited consciousness beyond your regular conscious, right? So you'll be able to see beyond, you'll be able to connect with the divine. You will have a spiritual connection that can give you the power to navigate the world. So we talk about all the other chakras and how important they are, but none of it's relevant if you cannot connect to the world beyond you and inside of you. So that crown chakra reminds you that you are important, but at the same time, it's bigger than you. So you get the divine connection between your body, mind, and soul into the infinite wisdom of the world. How do you know if you have an overactive crown chakra? Well, here's one that you may not think. You are too open to everybody's religious beliefs and influences. It's almost like you'll fall for anything because you float around in this spiritual mindset that you just want to accept everything. So if you have a crown chakra that's just too overactive, it may not give you the wisdom from your third eye to help you make good decisions because everything is mystical, everything is happy. So that's one thing or one way that you can tell if your chakra, your crown chakra, is overactive. Another way to determine whether or not your crown chakra is overactive is to look and see if you've had any frightening visions or inability to sleep without having bad thoughts or even nightmares. That's where that crown chakra is just going overtime and you're creating a world that may not even exist, a negative world. Because when we're talking about yoga and we're talking about life and we're talking about spirituality, we're not talking about anything negative. Because if you believe in the power of love that we've been talking about with the chakras rolling through your body, we ward off all that negativity. So if you are having nightmares or frightening thoughts, it's not from the divine, but instead it's something that we need to address so that your crown chakra is not bombarded by negativity. We can do that through meditation, sometimes through counseling, through movement, but definitely with tapping into the divine wisdom of the creation of this world. And we know the world is created in love, not in darkness. So we connect with our crown chakra to the higher power. How do you know if your crown chakra is underactive? If you ever found yourself in a state of disbelief or no faith at all. That's an example of that crown chakra moving so slow that it's almost not even there. But the great news is it really is there. It's up to us to activate it, to tap into it. So even when the world gets you down, don't lose faith. Or maybe you find yourself bored in certain situations. That's another example of how your crown chakra may be just underactive. And then maybe you're feeling lightheaded. Let's talk from a physical standpoint. You're lightheaded or you're getting headaches. In any of those situations, when your body is reacting, you want to find out what's going on in my mind, what's going on in my connection to the greater good. And understand me, this physical body that we live in, it is not perfect. I, in fact, think God made it imperfect so that we would always remember that it's not about us and how frail we are. So we live in an imperfect vessel, so we are going to experience life's ups and downs. There's no doubt about it. But if you maintain your positivity, maintain your faith and your belief and your connection to the divine, your connection to God and that God that resides in you, all of your other chakras will be activated. Your wisdom will get strong. Your throat, your communication, your ability to express yourself will be there. Your love will glow and spread love to the world, because one thing we know in today's time, in order to stop all the things that's going on that's basically killing us, it's love. You cannot build technology that will change the world or stop the violence. You can't build, new boats and machinery, and you can't just, equation it out. It's love. So your heart chakra is necessary. And then, as we said, in order to get all that going, you need that fire inside of you. You need your solar plex. You need that energy, that fire. But then at the same time, you need your core. You need the love. You need the sacral, the part that has that desire. And before all of that, you have to be grounded and rooted in who you are and whose you are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our journey through the chakras. We only scratched the surface of how deep you can go into understanding. I mean, we can talk about the stones, we can talk about the colors, we can talk about foods that activate your chakra. But right now, we're going to go ahead and conclude with this brief introduction. And most importantly, take all this information, continue to build your practice, continue to build yourself as yogis on and off the mat, and use these tools to keep your life energized and to energize the lives of others. Take care.